Hey guys, welcome to the Cosmic Download, to Cosmic Origins. My name is Jace. It's been a little bit. Welcome back, everybody. Can I get a 5 for 5 or an alien emoji or a wizard emoji or whatever you're feeling today in the chat if the volume and the stream is all solid so far? And while we do that, I'm going to burn a little bit of some sweetgrass to set the vibe. Welcome, Angelito. I missed you too. Welcome, Mr. Basonator. Welcome, CH. Welcome, Polyrhythmium. Welcome, Candy Apple. Good to see you. This is just some sweetgrass. If you guys have never used sweetgrass before, it's one of my favorites. Not quite the same intention as sage. It's more for like with sage, I use it for more clearing a space. And with the sweetgrass, it's more kind of like an incense for kind of setting the vibe afterward and maintaining it. And at least that's what I've used it for. And I really enjoy it. It's very home smelling. It's like wherever it comes from, whatever planet, I like that place. All right. And since I have the sound bowl here, why not a little bit? Sorry if anybody was wearing headphones and that was really loud. All right, welcome in everybody. Welcome. So yeah, if you didn't know why I was gone for the past couple weeks, it's because I got banned. I got 2 out of 3 strikes on my channel, and it was a good opportunity for me to take a break and chill and collect myself. And it's good to do that every once in a while and kind of reorient your mission and your intention and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, they had me out for like 2 weeks, and then I took like an extra week off, and then the timing was just kind of weird because I think they brought me back on like a Sunday or whatever. But anyway, we're back, and yeah, the first thing that I want to kind of here, let's put on some quiet background music. And then I want to show you guys the new portal. All right, hopefully that's nice and good volume. Okay, so I made a new, well, I didn't make a new one. This one was kind of sitting there as a backup, but I would like everybody, if you like this show and you want to keep following me, to go and subscribe to the Divine Sovereign Beings YouTube channel, which is going to be in the description right down below. Should be like the first link there. And this is my project with my beloved wife, Alexis. This is our combined energy project, Divine Sovereign Beings. And obviously the YouTube is empty. We haven't done anything on the YouTube yet, but we're going to be posting more content there. And then there's some exciting developments that I'll get to in a little bit here. But yes, if you could go and subscribe to this channel, because I might not be on this channel much longer. Like literally, if I get one more strike, then I'm gone for good. And there's already been, so many people in this community that's happened to over and over. Like our friend Kate Awakening just had her YouTube taken away from her a couple weeks ago, and that was a big bummer. And of course, like countless other people. So yeah, if I get one more strike, they're going to boot me. So go subscribe to the other YouTube, and then subscribe to the Telegram groups, which, I hope are down in the description below. If not, maybe someone can post them in the chat. And if anyone's like yearning to be a moderator, just let me know, and we can make that happen. If you've been here, and obviously I recognize you, because only moderators can post links. That's why I say that. So yeah, go subscribe to Divine Sovereign Beings, and I guess I might as well just announce the exciting news now. There's not a ton to announce yet, but what I can say at this moment is that Alexis and I are in the beginning to middle stages of planning our own conference event. More than just a conference, there's going to be music, there's going to be art, vendors here in Sedona, Arizona. So if that's something that calls to you, this is going to be in late July. We're kind of tentatively thinking the weekend of July 23rd to the 25th, but we haven't actually booked the venue yet. But we are in talks with the venue and with a bunch of speakers that we've confirmed already, still in a few that I need to reach out to, a couple musicians confirmed. And basically, it's going to be a 3-day event where the flow, here, let's go back to here. The flow of the event right now is to have Friday kind of be the red pill disclosure, more tangible information kind of day. And I wish I could tell you some of the names, but I don't want to just yet because we need to kind of go through the final confirmation stages before I put anything out there. But Friday is going to be that kind of red pill disclosure information. Saturday is going to be the galactic, cosmic, kind of upper chakra information. And then Sunday is going to be more of the health, well-being, science, that kind of information. And then at least 2 of the nights we're going to be having music. One artist right now is a rap artist. I'm not going to say his name just yet. Probably can, but just for the sake of keeping everything kind of under the same umbrella. Well, yeah, you'll see. And then I'm probably going to DJ along with my friend Ryan as well. So it's going to be super dope. That again is going to be late July in Sedona, Arizona. So this is mainly going to be local speakers because we have a lot of really talented, amazing people here in Sedona. But we're going to be bringing in a few people that are local, still kind of local to this area, but other parts, and then maybe a few out-of-state people as well. But not that that really matters, but the Sedona vibe is a good one. We have a lot of very cool people here. So yeah. Hey, Amy, good to see you. Yeah, you guys, you got to come. It's going to be sweet. And then I also want to cover, let me find it real quick. Alexis is going to be hosting an event sooner that you guys may have heard about. Alexis, my beloved wife, is having, here we go. It's called the Sedona Vortex Meetup. Now, this is a different style event than the one that I was just telling you about. Obviously, the one I was telling you about, there's going to be speakers. It's going to be indoor, AC in the middle of summer kind of thing. This is before summer, not going to be as hot, moving, into spring more so. But this is going to be outdoor and like getting into the vortexes and very loose, very magical, very divinely guided. So there's not going to be any official, speakers. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people expressing themselves, but no one that's, being put in a position to speak or anything like that. And it's basically going to be meeting at each of these vortexes every day. And, we have been working with these vortexes, living here and working with the land here. So we're very familiar with the energies, and particularly Alexis was called to each of these spots for each day of the week. So that is a donation-based event, and it truly is donation-based. And yeah, 24th to the 30th, if you guys are interested. So really, if you can do both, if you can make it out here for that and, meet people and get a feeling for the land, that's going to be like the Connecting with the Land Day, or Connecting with the Land kind of event. And then the conference that's going to be in late July is going to be more of the intellectual, it's just more on that side of things, the information and the sharing. And there's still going to be, we still really want to make the collectivity and the communion and the all that part of the vibe, because that's really important for us. We've been working with conferences in this kind of area for a long time. We've been training and studying under many different people and groups. So we have a pretty good idea of what we're trying to create. And really, this is like, both of these are a really big deal for us, because we've been in the works of manifesting these for a while. And we honestly have been so divinely set up to be space holders in this way. We have so many great connections, and we know so many people that we're able to bring together into these types of meetings and events. And it's incredible. And honored to be, holding this space for this thing, because this is really going to be, both of these events are really going to be their own. They're going to blossom into themselves, where we're not trying to control it and make it exactly, tit for tat what we're picturing in this moment. We're very much leaving space open for it to be a beautiful, self-created event that really finds itself. So, yeah, particularly for the July event, the conference event, if you are feeling called to that in a way that you feel like you have something you want to contribute, like I said, we're mainly doing local people, so we're not really we're not going to be paying for speakers to come out, as far as flights and things like that. But we are going to be paying our speakers, of course, but we're not going to be bringing in people from out of state with lodging. We're not, maybe in future events, but beginning stages for this. But if there is something, if you want to be a vendor, or if there's anything random that you're feeling divinely called to contributing to this event, feel free to reach out to us and we'll see what we can do. Jump over to the comments here. Man, you guys, I've missed this. It's I really need to get on something that's not YouTube. Hopefully that Trump platform, and if Frank's speech ever really pulls through. We actually know someone who got a personal invite to Trump's platform and told us that he'd be able to send us an invite to create a profile before it's actually official. So we'll see if that happens. Are you going to make us wear masks? No, absolutely not. On your own free will, if that's what you want to do, I respect free will, and I'm not going to stop people from wearing masks, but absolutely no mask enforcement. That's what's fantastic about Arizona is we don't have a mask mandate. And literally, you guys, this is crazy. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I told you guys that we interfaced with the Mitchell Hedges crystal skull. It came to Sedona, and we were invited to a private, basically, council with it, with a group of 20-ish other people in Sedona. And the Mitchell Hedges crystal skull is one of the 13, they say, allegedly one of the 13 original Atlantean skulls that were seeded here by galactics thousands of years ago. And this is one of only two that's actually officially recognized by, historians as being legitimate. There's the Mitchell Hedges one, and then there's the one that I don't remember the name, but it's in a museum in the Royal Museum in London, I'm pretty sure. And the Mitchell Hedges crystal skull is way more legit than that one. The one in the museum in London looks like a toy, and the Mitchell Hedges skull looks so anatomically correct. Shout out to our friends, the Earth Star Healer. That was the portal that this came through, and she was the one that invited us to this gathering with the skull. So anyway, the skull came through town, had some crazy downloads with it. I sat face to face with it, stared in its eyes. It told me a lot that I'm still really downloading and understanding. But literally from that day on, it's like we shifted timelines in my reality, and there were no more masks. All of a sudden, I could walk into the grocery store and I didn't have to wear a mask. And whereas before, I'd get kicked out for not wearing a mask, no one said a thing. And then that's when I kind of found out that the mask mandate was released, but it was never an official thing. It was very strange. It was like the skull came in, and then all of a sudden the timeline shifted and no more masks. So thank you to the skull. You don't need to wear masks in Sedona. And we even just went to an event at this venue that was sizable, and there was of the over 100, 200 people I saw there was 2 people wearing masks. And I'm pretty sure they took it off by the end of the event. Thank you, Ascension Diaries, for posting the Telegram. What's up, Clayton? Good to see you, man. Oh, you deleted your message? You said yo-yo, and then now it's gone. Did you not mean your yo-yo? Good to see you, man. Okay, so yeah, that was the big news. If you're just joining in, big news is that we're going to be holding a conference in late July, somewhere in the 20s, probably 23rd to 25th, or the weekend after. And We are not announcing any speakers or anything like that yet, but it's going to have Red Pill disclosure related speakers. It's going to have galactic, cosmic, ascension related speakers. And then there will be health, wellness, and science related speakers. Of course, all in the, category of spirituality loosely. Consciousness in general. Everything is going to be conscious, of course. And we're going to have music at night. And we are making room for other divine magical things to work their way in, but that's where we're at right now. So send good vibes out today. I'll be reaching out to the venue, which I've already talked to the venue people and we're good, but just for moving the timeline forward. And I'm not announcing ticket prices yet, obviously, because we don't know the speakers officially, but there will be a sizable discount if you pay in cryptocurrency. So one of the things I'm really trying to encourage is the sovereignty of finances. And I want to get away from the banks. I want to get away from PayPal. I want to get away from any company that wants to stick their hands in your money and take a little bit and, make you feel like you need them to live your life. So I'm going to be trying to get everyone to go full cryptocurrency. I realize that's not entirely practical, so there will be non-crypto payment options. But if you pay for or a donation, because that's what it's going to be, not payment, but donation based. If you donate via crypto, the minimum donation requirement is going to be substantially less. Like, it's going to make people who would normally go, I don't care about crypto, let's just pay normal. They're going to go, oh, maybe I would actually want to pay with crypto, because that's how big the discount is. So yeah, again, the reason behind that is I'm really trying to push the sovereignty of finances. I want to encourage everybody to get to a place where, regardless of what crypto projects you believe in, or even if it's not crypto, although really crypto and decentralized finance are the only spaces to have this kind of sovereignty right now, but moving people out of being reliant upon banks and centralized financial institutions is really important, I think. And I think it's just really cool to have an event like this where you can pay in crypto. And we'll likely be taking really any crypto you have, because I want to make it really open and not limited. I'm going to mainly get people to do XRP because it's the easiest, simplest, fastest. But I want to make it open. So it's just like, if you have some random crypto and you want to pay for your ticket in that, run it by me, and that's cool with me. And then I want to pay the people working in crypto as well and make it a fully closed loop of financial sovereignty. Yeah, I think it's XRP will moon during your conference. That would be something. Yeah, so anyway, that's that. And then again, for people just joining, please go subscribe to my backup channel, which is Divine Sovereign Beings. It's very likely that I will get booted from this page in the near future. So if I get one more strike, I'll get a permanent ban. And what they do is, if I make a video that, they don't like literally I'll make a video, and like I did last time, and then they'll go and they'll immediately find a video or 2, 3, 4, 5 they did last time. They hit me with 5 at once. 5 of my old videos from 2-3 years ago, and then flag those, because they can't actually flag the more recent ones, I guess. That's my theory. But it's like, so they time it so well. Like right before XRP moons, they hit me with a ban or something, so I can't go live and talk about the stuff. So yeah, I need to get somewhere else, really. But this is the backup YouTube for now. And this is where all the event information will be. The event is going to be under Divine Sovereign Beings. That's not going to be the name of the event, but it's going to be presented by Divine Sovereign Beings. And so we'll have probably interviews and promo videos and all sorts of other cool stuff. Yeah, and Alexis and I just designed this logo. Alexis made this one that you see with the profile picture in white, and then I added some different color and flair to it for just different versions of the logo. And then this background, I took myself with my drone. So sovereignty, Divine Sovereign Beings and sovereignty. That's what we're going for. All right. I'm going to jump into some crypto and news stuff. And then part of what I want to do here is a Q&A. So if you guys have questions, you can just start throwing them out now before we even officially start a Q&A. Just have it kind of going. But if it's crypto related or news related or whatever you guys want to talk about, I'm here. If you guys have been watching the roundtable with Zen God and the group of Kangs on the Zen God channel, it's amazing. I'm so glad I found those group of guys. Like, it was so divine, like how solid it all flowed and linked up, and so many connections have been made. And I know so many of you guys have come from there, or like found Zen through me, or vice versa. Like, there's been so many intermingling of energy between those different channels, and we've been talking about some really good information. I'm really excited for the direction that roundtable is going and the opportunities that are to come. And there are, behind the scenes, there's some talks of bringing on some more popular people, but I will just leave it at that. Some people that may be interested in coming on that you might know from various parts of the internet. Clayton said, could it be that they don't want to be seen censoring XRP related content? I think that is a large part of it. If you guys remember, like, they were putting 17 related, you know how they put like a Wikipedia page under, and like, if for more information, they did that for 17, for the 17th letter of the alphabet, for XRP videos. For like, I remember there was like a week there where every major content creator that was just talking about XRP and nothing else was getting these little disclaimer type flags under their videos. So I think they are, the DS, the CABAL, is definitely trying to push people away from that and the information, not allow them to access the information, which is a huge piece of evidence for me that I present to people when like truthers come to me and they're like, hey, XRP is the banker's coin, or XRP is the NWO coin, or whatever. Or even if, like, you know, people who are a little more well-researched, they'll pull up like some of those videos of like Ellen and other people talking about Ripple, which are really, you know, you should research that and you should know. And I think it takes really in-depth research to see the full spectrum of the spiritual war that's going on here. And yeah, it's possible that Ripple was NWO before. And remember, Ripple and XRP were not one and the same. Ripple was around before XRP became a thing. But it's possible that Ripple, or that, you know, as the Trojan horse, the CABAL, the DS, thought that Ripple was their thing, and so they were trying to promote it, only to have the white hats pull out the rug under them. You know, who knows as far as that kind of thing. But there's so much evidence to show that that group of people, you know, the elite that supposedly control XRP, they are really going after it. They really don't want the average retail investor finding out about it, investing in it. And I think a big part of that too is realizing that the technology itself, you know, any technology within itself is neutral, and it's about who's using it and how they're using it that defines the energy that comes out of it. And yeah, I think a lot of these bad actors know the inevitability of the, you know, what we could call the QFS, quantum financial system, what some people call that, or whatever you want to call it, the Great Reset, the Great Awakening. It's all kind of become synonymous now. And I think that the bad actors that aren't puppets for the white hats, which I think there's a large portion are just playing roles for the white hats. They're puppets that are being controlled for the light now. Like they have, you know, metaphorically an ankle monitor or an explosive around their ankle to, you know, make sure that they're making the right moves. Although literally I think straight up a lot of them are clones that they're controlling, and I'm pretty sure that's what the puppets are that 17 refers to. But for those that are legit bad actors, I think even those people realize the inevitability of this system and would have want to be working with it, and what might come across as promoting it in their own way. It's like the dollar, right? Like the dollar promoted by both light and dark people, as far as like people of the light are using the dollar and making money with the dollar and things like that. So it's neutral in that sense, even though of course it has an all-seeing eye on it and all that kind of stuff. But I think you guys know what I'm getting at here. Angelito says, what exactly is a king? That might be a better question for the the people who came up with the term. I don't exactly know. I like it though. King, you know, it's like the king energy. But yeah, that might be a better question for like Adam, if you guys know Adam, Hold Space, and Zen maybe would know. I know this one you guys mentioned earlier on roundtable discussions, but do you know anything more about how we will be able to stake our XRP and other F assets from our Ledger devices? I don't know the technicalities of how it's going to work out. I just know that I don't know if Ledger in particular is going to allow it. So far, Decent is the only one that I know that is officially gonna allow, I'm pretty sure, staking. At the very least, they're gonna be allowing the airdrop of DFLR to Spark holders, if you're familiar with that. But there will be, so what I understand, I'm pretty sure they're gonna have a software wallet that is basically their Flare's equivalent of what MetaMask is for the Ethereum network. And if you're familiar with MetaMask, you can connect wallets like virtually that are typically a hardware wallet. So you could take your hardware wallet and you can access it through MetaMask. And so I believe it'll be a similar type of process with Flare wallet, and then being able to stake the Flare through that Flare wallet, just like you could with MetaMask. Hopefully that's what you're talking about. Let me know. Decent if you have XDC in your portfolio. Yes. And actually, my Decent wallet just arrived in the mail yesterday. And I'm pretty stoked. I can take it out and show it to you guys. I haven't actually set it up yet. I'm going to do that today. But if you're in the market for a wallet, you know, the Ledger is the other one that I have, the Ledger Nano S, which is just the basic one. That's the first one I got. I chose to go with the Decent over, say, a Ledger Nano X, a Ledger. I chose to go with the Decent because, well, for a couple reasons. One, as Earthworth is pointing out in the chat, XDC is supported. So if you have XDC and you don't want to keep storing it on Bitrue, you can store it on here. Now, I will say that if you want to test out Decent without actually buying the hardware wallet, you can download the software wallet application, which is available for free on the App Store or the Google Play Store. And just to kind of basically cover what that means for people that are new to hardware versus software wallets, a software wallet is basically just based off of an app on your phone. And if the only real security preventing someone from, say, stealing the money on a software wallet is your phone physically and then a PIN number. So let's say, for example, the Decent software wallet, which again is free and just in the App Store. If you were going to download that and you put XDC or XRP or whatever in there, if you left your phone somewhere, right, like at a restaurant or somewhere, or someone stole your phone or something, all they would need to know is your PIN code, both your phone PIN code, but also your PIN code for the application itself. And if they have that PIN code, then they can send money out. So that's where, if you buy the hardware wallet, which this is $135 US, Most are around $100, give or take, from the different brands. The hardware wallet requires the additional security of having this device. Okay, so let's open it up and I'll show you what I mean. So it looks like this. And additionally, why I really like the Descent over the Ledger is the security required, right? So I was just talking about, like, you need this to get to your funds, right? So if once I set this up, if I put money on it and I want to transfer funds out, I'm going to need my phone, but I'm also going to need this. And traditionally, like with the ledgers, it's a PIN code to access this. But what's really cool about this is it has a fingerprint scanner. It's biometric security. So someone would need your fingerprint in order to get into your funds. So that is really awesome. As far as downsides to that, I haven't really been able to think of anything besides if the physical, device itself fails. Which in any case, if you lose your physical device or you lose your phone or anything like that, that's why you have your recovery phrases. So this is what makes a self-custodied sovereign wallet your wallet. You have a recovery phrase. This is not something you have when you hold your money on Uphold or Coinbase or anything. You don't have your passwords to your wallet. They have it. So they technically own your crypto. So this is why I always recommend to people get a self-custodied wallet, whether it's the free software ones on the phone or you buy one of these guys for $100 or so bucks. And where was I getting at there? Yeah, so the security phrase is your entry back into this if you ever lock yourself out, whether that's the software wallet and you lose your phone or whatever, or you've got this guy. But the fingerprint scanning is a big plus for me. And then that on top of supporting XDC, also supports XRP, of course, and then they're going to be supporting Spark for the Flare network. And then it's looking like probably the other Flare finance coins like DFlare, which will become YFlare, YFin. We can get into that later if you guys want to get into that more. But yeah, Descent wallet, good stuff. The only, I would say, downside is if you want to be able to use your computer exclusively to access your hardware wallet. At this point, to my knowledge, Descent does not have a computer application. They only have a phone app. So whereas the ledgers have a computer application, you can open it up and look at your funds on your computer if you're more prone to that. Most people are more prone to phones, so it's probably not a huge deal. But you never know. In the future, they may make a computer application as well. So yeah, that's going to be cool to set that up. Let me know if you guys have any questions about that. Okay, here's a good one. So the Mr. Basonator, I hope I'm saying that right. They said the Great Reset is synonymous with the Great Awakening. So this is something that took me a little bit to kind of sort out in my mind and really come to a personal conclusion about. For the longest time, ever since I heard them saying Great Reset, I was strictly under the conclusion that the Great Reset was the opposite of the Great Awakening. I was even making posts telling people that, like, look, we have the Great Awakening, which is everything, of course, we know is synonymous with the Great Awakening. And then we have the Great Reset, which is the Black Hat timeline to really do the opposite. And it was only really after Spirit guided me to XRP and really understanding the intricacies of the war that's going on within this spiritual, galactic, worldly war, particularly in the financial system with XRP and stuff. That's, it bleeds down into that. I began to realize that, at least from what I could see, that the Great Reset was the Great Awakening, and that it was the light playing off of people's subconscious programming to deprogram them, and also triggering a whole group of people, which a lot of them totally thought they were right, which I'm talking about, like, loosely the 17 red pill type groups, which of course, I've been making content about a lot of that kind of stuff and covering that stuff. So that's why I was really under that impression that they were opposites. And then, like I said, it was when Spirit guided me to XRP and only really researching the intricacies of that I realized, whoa, what they're doing with the Great Reset is the white hats doing the Great Awakening, but they're Trojan horsing it on the world stage for everybody to see. And at the same time, it's going to trigger all the people who had particular expectations about the Great Awakening and how it was going to go down. Because, so many of us were triggered by the way that, say, this past couple 6 months played out and what we thought was going to happen and all that kind of stuff. And I've come to the conclusions myself that was all like really necessary to kind of jolt a lot of people out of their particular expectations for how they thought things were going to go, and that what is really going to be unfolding is so much more grand and miraculous and spectacular and magical than anything our minds would have comprehended or tried to predict. So yeah, that's my take on that. I do feel now that the Great Reset is the white hats playing out the Great Awakening, and that is going to be what people are calling the QFS or the Nasara Jasara event, although I really doubt on any official level it's ever going to be called that. But the Phoenix symbology, the Great Reset, the Great Awakening, rising from the ashes, the financial collapse and what's going to rise from it, Space Force and the quantum financial system. Go watch my video on that on my YouTube channel if you haven't seen it, talking about the Flare Finance trailer and how it's really foreshadowing all this stuff we've been talking about with Space Force, and like we've been talking about on the roundtable, time cops, and this idea that there's a lot of interdimensional play going on behalf of white hats, and that there's a lot of these Mandela effect timeline shifts changing both past, present, and future that we're really observing on a physical level every day now. Something random, one of the craziest, I'm going to pull this up, one of the craziest Mandela effects, maybe not craziest, but my favorite from recently is something called a shoebill. It's just a shoebill, I guess. Shoebill bird. They are like a cross between a dodo and a velociraptor. And I feel like I would have definitely remembered this if we learned about these as kids. They are as big as people, taller than people, with huge heads. And if you look at videos of them, they're so conscious. They're like avian ETs. And they're like the dodo, which went extinct a couple hundred years ago, I'm pretty sure, officially. And this is one of those like timeline shifts that I've noticed in the past couple months. All of a sudden, these birds are like all over the internet, and I haven't talked to anyone who was on the timeline of remembering these things from when they were a kid. But let me know, do you remember this in like school, like from more than 5 years ago? Pretty trippy. Welcome, Zen God. Good to see you, brother. All right. Does Decent support VeChain? That is a good question. I'm not sure. Don't actually own any VeChain myself. I do think it's a good project, but just for sake of my personal choices, I don't have any, so I'm not sure. QFS stuff is wild. People getting their debt wiped out or something. You hear about that? I have heard about that. I don't know about anything particularly recently. Maybe something more has happened, but I heard about a year ago that Canada Chase Bank in Canada wiped out the debt for all Chase customers and affiliated banks because Chase was permanently pulling out of Canada. And so a bunch of people got like, $100,000 plus and like school loans and all this other stuff reset. And I'm hearing now from people that I know in Canada that maybe this changed over the past couple of weeks, but I was hearing a couple of weeks ago was that they were literally having issues with the tax system. Whatever their collection agency is called over there, they were not like allowing people to file, I'm pretty sure. So it was like that whole system was just shutting down. And Canada is really going through one right now. If you guys are from Canada, I send a lot of love and support to you. My friend Simon Essler is out there with his family, like looks like every day on, at least on social media, like, you know, talking about the police state there and the crazy amount of oppression in Canada. And it's pretty much, Canada is kind, as we've kind of discovered now, is kind of like China's cloned version of the USA. It's like they just set up the clone right next door, you know. Of course, you know, it has all the connections to the crown, and China has a lot of control over the crown in Europe and all that stuff, so it makes sense. Time Cop secured the timeline. That's right, bro. Quantum. Manifest the optimum timeline. All right, peace out, brother. All right, let's jump into some crypto stuff, if you guys are down for that. So, we saw XRP doing some crazy stuff over the past couple days. I'm going to open up a BitTrue. I prefer BitTrue for looking at graphs. BitTrue is also where you can get XDC, but make sure that you, to my knowledge, you don't do it through the website. I have not been able to get it work through the website. They just tell you that, you know, your region is not allowed, but if you do it through the app, it's a little bit different. And I don't really keep anything on BitTrue, so I would recommend, if you buy it, moving it off, and you can move it off to one of these Descent wallets if you get XDC on there. But yeah, so let's go. This is the 1 minute chart, but let's go to the hour chart. I've been spending a lot of time looking at the charts. Looks like we're actually might be breaking out of this right now, potentially. We've been going sideways for a while, and we were going sideways down here for a while, and we broke out of that on the 30th. And that sent us up from 39 to 55 plus cents, $1.39 to $1.55. And we have a lot of top analysts, you know, online analysts, like the Blockchain Backer is one of my favorites. If you haven't seen his YouTube, Blockchain Backer, he has amazing content around chart analysis and very humble, grounded, like spiritual guy. He has a connection with God. He's, you know, he talks about it, and he's a former addict that has recovered, and he's a really solid figure for this whole community, for people to look up to, like grounded divine masculine. And but he sticks to just logic and just the charts. So I think it's cool because he carries that package with him of like this inner spiritual knowing and groundedness, but he doesn't go woo-woo on, you know, in the way that like me and others do sometimes on this kind of stuff. He like sticks just to the charts and just to the retracement levels and all that kind of stuff, which is cool. You know, I don't think it's the entire part of the picture, but it's definitely a good information to get without some of the other, you know, speculative stuff sometimes. So Blockchain Backer on YouTube, and he's saying that we are blasting off immediately, like what's the word, imminently, like you know, this could be potentially a couple days, maybe even weeks, but this could be today. Like I said, it looks like we're even getting a little bit of a breakout of this pattern right here. I'm no chart analyst, but I figured that I would just start kind of sharing what I observe in the charts, because I look at them a lot, and I didn't think I would be looking at charts a lot, but it's actually kind of become a meditative practice for me. I've learned a lot about the universe and flow and cycles, and a lot of downloads have come to me while just kind of staring at crypto charts. I did not expect that. But yeah, so what a lot of people are saying is imminent breakout, and I kind of went on that intuition and I put a trade in. I haven't really been trading at all. I'll let you guys know. Like, I only do really long-term investments because I got royally screwed over in trading from this website called Femex, where they do leverage trades. And if you don't know what leverage trading is, it's when you're able to essentially like you basically borrow money from the exchange to multiply what you're putting in. So you could put in $100 and do times 10, and it's worth 1,000, right? So any gains you're making off of what would have been $1,000 at that entry point, but you lose it 10 times faster. So for every cent, let's say that you go down, it's equal to like what would have been 10 cents because it's 10 times. So you can liquidate your entire trade really quickly. And when I was first getting into crypto, I was just playing with that so much, and I ended up losing like quite a bit. Fortunately, I've made it back with smart investment choices and long-term hodling and things like that. But I was being reckless. But it's interesting because Femex was one of the first to delist XRP. And I'm gonna just pop over here real quick. I'm gonna bring up Femex, show you guys, because they relisted it super low key. Like I didn't even see any official reports about it. Yeah, I think I'm good to show this. So hold on one sec. This is what Femex looks like. So you can see I'm on a 9.99 time trade, and I timed it really well, and I actually rode. So I put in like a trade. Like it was not much. It was like $165. It was like a little over 100 XRP, and I put it in like right here, and did like a times 12 because I was just getting the intuition, and I did it. And I don't recommend doing this unless you do you. But it's when it comes to these leverage trade stuff, it's really hard to. It's just hard to know. It's really hard to know. But I was following my guidance, and I put one in right here, did it times 12, and in this little jump, I was able to like go from like 160 to like 400 something. And then I've kind of done the equivalent here, and I have a stop loss set up so that basically if it goes down below where these averages are, then it'll cancel me out, and I'll still technically be in profit from my initial trade. So that's just kind of to show you guys where I'm at with doing some of this stuff. If it helps you in any sense, then that's cool. Obviously right now I'm still in negative on this version of the trade. I'm in like negative $20, but from my beginning initial, I'm still up, which is cool. So yeah, there is opportunity here. If you like you could throw in, or I'll just say me, because I don't even want to make it sound like advice. I could throw in I was thinking about putting in like, 1,000 XRP or something, and just doing times 2 or maybe times 3. And that's much lower risk than obviously times 9. But if if we do springboard from here and go up, then you'd be times 2 or times 3ing what you did. But if we go down, you have to be prepared for it to lose it quicker. So you really, you have to be okay with that. And that's why I have like a stop loss set up here and stuff. So yeah, Femex, if you want to check it out, PHEMEX.com. And you can leverage trade anything on there too. But yeah, not necessarily advocating you do that, because I did lose a lot in the beginning. But I'm feeling karmically like it's coming back now. Like I had like a year break from doing that, and then it got relisted, and yeah, maybe a little less than a year, but yeah. Ascension Diary says, hot tip, don't be reckless with your resources. It's true. But sometimes it's all just part of the failure of learning too. Like I probably wouldn't have made everything that I did make if I didn't lose what I did lose. All right, let's jump on the. Oh, actually, real quick, Flare. Flare's been going nuts. Let's look at Flare. So this is, of course, the Flare IOU. It's not the real Spark token. It's the IOU, and it went up to almost 230. Like, oh my gosh, this network isn't even live yet, and this is the speculative pricing. So who really knows? Like, we literally could see an actual dollar average price discovery near the beginning, but I really hope it's going to be less. I'm really hoping it's going to be under 10 cents at some point so that I can swoop up a bunch when it does go live. That's why I'm not buying any of this, because I do feel like this is overpriced for the moment. It's definitely not overpriced for the long term. So, you know, play your bets smart, but I'm personally not buying any of this because I do feel like there's going to be a cheaper opportunity, but there might not be. So if you don't already have Spark incoming from your XRP airdrop, then you could either get some of this, or you could go to Poloniex, Poloniex.com. You have to use a VPN for that one too, but they have a cheaper IOU with a different contract. This contract is for the initial 15% Spark distribution that'll go out right when Spark is first distributed. Only 15% of the entire network's Spark will be distributed by the Flare Foundation. And then it's like every month 3 to 4% is distributed. So this IOU is representative of that initial 15%. And the Poloniex IOU is representative of the entire 100% over the next 3 to 4 years that will be released. So that's why it's cheaper over there. I believe, let's see what it is right now. Let me check. Last time I checked, it was like 30 cents. $0.37 right now. So I got a little bit of that one back when it was like 10 cents. But yeah, it's kind of a, you know, it's definitely a bet on what's going to be, if it's going to be cheaper now or if it's going to be cheaper upon launch. Will you be able to buy Flare with the Ledger Nano S app? That's a good question. Where I live, I'm not able to buy anything on my Ledger at this moment for my region, I'm pretty sure. It's possible, but I would not expect that right at the beginning. It may be a little bit. Right now, it's looking like the Decent wallet is the most friendly hardware wallet for for Spark and Flare. The Decent is looking to be the most friendly. Are they still doing the Flare beta? It's not running right now, but they are doing it. A new dynasty awaits. Basically, there were so many people that signed on to do the beta and flooded the network that I think they had to do major network upgrades that they weren't expecting to have to do yet. And part of that is, the native Flare network, their test network called Coston, that one had to be reset, which was apparently separate from what Flare Finance was doing. It just happened to be around the same time that they launched the beta, and then Flare had to relaunch their original network. But we should be seeing the beta go live again in the next, hopefully, couple days, couple weeks. I really don't know. Last week they said it was probably going to be last weekend, so I've just been keeping an eye on it every day. And you can join their mailing list, and you can also join the Discord. This is farm.flare.finance, but if you just go to flr.finance, then you can sign up and join the Discord and the various groups there. Discord, Telegram, Twitter, GitHub. So, yeah, that's that. Hey, Smokey the Bear. Good to see ya. I am back. Yep. I am recovering. Not recovering. I'm recovering from a 2-week ban. I had a 2-week ban, and then I decided to take an extra week or 2 weeks, I don't even know, off to recoup and get some downloads and get this event going that I was talking about. If you're just joining when this ends, you can go watch the beginning. And I talk about the event, the conference that we're going to be planning for July in Sedona, Arizona. If you guys are interested in that, it's going to be good stuff. We'll be putting information out soon. And also, if you haven't yet please go subscribe to my backup page, Divine Sovereign Beings, because if I get one more strike on my current page, I'm going to be gone. This page is going to be gone for good if that happens. And it's really just at their discretion at this point, because they're just pulling. I have so many old videos, and they're just pulling up random old videos and flagging me from years ago. So it's like whenever they decide, which, you know, that's fine. I'm on their platform. So that's, you know, I got to play by their rules if I want to use their platform, I guess. But Divine Sovereign Beings is going to be where the content is going to start going when this one, if and when this one gets deleted. I don't want to manifest that for sure, but it feels kind of like an inevitability. They literally flagged 5 of my videos at once last time, and I only got to appeal 1. The other 4, they didn't let me appeal. So yes, subscribe here. This is where all the info will be on the new information on the conference and interviews and who knows what else. And that is down in the description below. Clayton says he made $3,000 in play money when it was open on Flare Finance. Yeah, that's awesome. I made like somewhere in that neighborhood as well with, I think they gave us like $1,000-ish in play money, and I was able to turn it into roughly like $8K in like 2 or 3 weeks. But I got in really early too. I got really lucky, which is why that really taught me the importance of getting in early when Flare goes live. So we can talk about this if you guys want, jump into Flare a little bit. And then I have some funny news stories to share. Some crazy stuff going on with the Chinese rocket, but we'll come back to that. So with Flare, I really learned the importance of getting in right away. So if this is all new to you, let's just kind of go to a basic. Flare Networks is going to be a new crypto network that's going to be launching in late June, early July. Flare Finance is a decentralized application, set of applications being built on the Flare networks. And the Flare networks are going to bring decentralized finance to all of crypto, really. It's going to open up the portals and the doorways for old, outdated technology coins like Bitcoin and Dogecoin, and even stuff like XRP that's limited, you know, in the fact that they don't have decentralized finance, and it's going to open up the ability and give them superpowers. So with your Bitcoin, with your Doge, with your XRP, with your XLM, with your Cardano, you will be able to stake these and create an income essentially by moving them over to what is called an F asset version. So that for every coin that is available, like the ones I just listed, there will be an F asset equivalent. So that means F Bitcoin will be coming, F Doge, F XRP, F Litecoin, F Cardano. And those are the decentralized finance equivalents of their counterpart. And so that means we will be able to do things like decentralized loans, decentralized exchanges, decentralized, like it's there's the possibilities are really endless, but those are kind of the few that I throw out there because those are what are kind of officially confirmed so far. The potential for decentralized insurance is one of them. But yeah, imagine being able to get a loan in crypto without having to go to the bank. You can get a loan through Flare. And if you want to be a lender for that, you know, you can lend out your XRP or whatever and make interest on that. As a Spark holder, Spark is the native asset of Flare. As a Spark holder, you'll be able to make passive income through multiple ways. So it's going to open up the ability for people to essentially make a universal basic income by just holding their currency. And you can keep it in the US dollar too. Like you could put your money in. This is going to be really good for bringing on people who are, say, like our grandparents' generation, or I guess I say our, not everybody's my age. Maybe you are part of that generation, but I say that if you're watching this, I don't really include you in that kind of group, because I'm referring to the people that are unaware of the new financial space and opportunities, whatever age they are, you know, whether they're, you know, 10 years old or they're 100 years old, the opportunity is still the same. So what's going to be really cool is for those people who, you know, maybe don't want to buy into crypto, they don't want to buy XRP, they don't want to buy Bitcoin, they want to keep their dollars, but they want to take advantage of this universal basic income, you can essentially put your US dollars into a stable coin on the Flare network, like XUSD is their stable coin, and you will be able to stake your stable coin on Flare Finance in their farm and make an interest on your US dollars. So you don't even have to put it into a volatile crypto. And you can you can convince your family members to take their savings and put it in, and maybe not your whole savings as far as risk and all that is up to your discretion. But the only real risk with using the network is entrusting the software itself, which requires the research in knowing to trust the software, but you don't have to trust any third-party agency or anything like that. But yeah, being able to take your money and your US dollars and be able to make interest on it. I think when Mr. Poole talked about universal basic income, it's leaning more towards that than it is like from the government. Like I think universal basic income is a human right in the sense that divinely, as creator beings, as divine sovereign creator beings, we are entitled to a universal income per se of energy. We have a natural birthright to the in-streamings of cosmic energy that results in physical money, and the things that come from it, like healthcare and all these things that the governments have tried to politicize and turn into like a socialism or communism thing because it's run by the government. But the divine birthright comes from within. It's not going to come from the government. So that's where I see crypto and decentralized finance, and particularly Flare, being the end all be all for that. Like, people will be able to make money doing anything. People will be able to make money by walking. Like I'm putting my bets on it now. I've said this before, that there's going to be some app that pays you in crypto for walking, where it's like you just count your steps, and for every 1,000 steps you get paid or for every step you get paid a certain amount of crypto. Or if you're a gamer, there's already so many opportunities for making money in cryptocurrency with gaming. We will be able to monetize every aspect of our lives so that no matter what you do, if it is something that is in some way of service to the community, you will be paid for it. And that is the new generation of universal basic income. It's not going to come from the governments. It's not like they're going to try. Like I'm sure the governments will have the free will to be like, here's our universal basic income kind of thing, as far as the bad actors and the people who buy into that system. They can get their $1,000 a month or whatever it's going to be, even if it's $5,000 a month from the government. But there's likely going to be an energetic exchange because you're relying on this external thing to give you what is divinely yours as is. And that's where these spaces that are decentralized are going to act as mirrors for our energy and reflect that back at us. It's not like we have to sign up and get permission from this governing agency to get what is divinely already ours. Hey Ryan, what's up, man? Welcome. Ryan is going to be one of the artistes DJing at the conference. Flare me, baby. Smash that like button, says Earthworth. Thank you, man. Yes, if you could, please hit the like button. Please hit subscribe. And if you feel called to it, maybe share in a group or 2 or 5 or 10. It's pretty easy on Telegram now. You're just like, bam, 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 bam. All right. Cool. We got 38 people hanging out right now. Well, yeah, we just talked about Flare and the future of like sovereignty and universal basic income coming from within and all that stuff. Yeah, let's jump over to this Chinese rocket story. And if you guys have any other questions on Flare or crypto in general, just feel free to drop them in the chat. So this is crazy. Alexis literally just came up to me like 10 minutes before I was about to start. She's like, did you hear about this? 100-foot tall booster from Chinese rocket will likely make an uncontrollable re-entry. Yeah, it sounds pretty silly, right? Following yesterday's launch, the core stage of China's Long March 5B rocket inadvertently went into low Earth orbit. The booster, now spinning out of control, is poised to perform an uncontrolled re-entry from orbit, potentially threatening inhabited areas. As Space News reports, the core stage will likely fall from low Earth orbit at some point in the next few days, making it one of the biggest human-made objects to perform an uncontrolled re-entry. So it's like, imagine if Elon was launching one of his rockets, but instead of nicely being guided back to Earth, or, like the space shuttle where it would just fall back to Earth, this one, what they're trying to say is that first stage rocket actually got stuck in orbit, which is kind of hard to believe. And, especially if we're just taking the Chinese word for it, Chinese government's word for it. But yeah, imagine like the first stage of a rocket getting stuck in orbit, it's like 10 stories tall. And now they're saying it's going to crash on Earth in the next couple days. And I saw a video like on TikTok or something where he was like, this is the area that is the potential danger zone. And it was like, from as far south as New Zealand to as far north as New York, which is like most of the planet. And they're like, it could be anywhere in this, lateral range. And I don't know, to me, obviously, there's something up. It smells fishy. Something's being planned. Now, I'm not necessarily going to jump and say it's the DS or the bad actors, because at this point, I kind of feel like the majority of these things that are not what they're being made to be on the surface are white hat operations of some sort or another. But I guess we'll see what ends up happening. I keep seeing in my head like the visuals of a couple weeks ago when that thing broke up over Oregon and the Pacific Northwest. I think you could even see it in California. There was like a bunch of debris. Well, if this thing is really in orbit and it's moving, thousands of miles an hour and it's going to come down, I don't see it acting like an asteroid or anything like that. I feel like it would just break up in the atmosphere. And so my thought is, whoever is behind this, whether white or black or, whatever, no matter what hat, what is actually going to be occurring that they're calling it a 100-foot booster? Like what is actually going to be falling from the skies? What are they prepping people for? And it kind of reminds me of, if you guys saw the recent movie Super Intelligence, which, it was just, the movie itself was not a great movie by any standards, but it was full of disclosure and like seeded information for the public. And one of the things they did was they were trying to corner this AI, and they were trying to get it to a particular station of servers in Seattle. And so they were going to black out the whole planet to get this AI to move itself to Seattle. And there's a scene where it's like the president and all these military generals sitting in a secret bunker around a table, and they're like, okay, when the blackout starts, how are we going to prevent mass panic? And they're like, it's okay, we've already prepped people and told them that there are solar flares incoming, so that when the blackouts happen, they'll just think it's from the sun and the solar flares. And they're like, the president was like, okay, that's good. And then they're like, and how are we going to prevent the mass panic still? And they're like, well, the media has already started prepping people with fake news stories to like prep them for potential things of this magnitude. And it was just like they were telling, the viewers watching the movie, like, there could be things happening like this in the near future. Basically, we could be told that one thing is going to happen to prepare us mentally, to prepare the mass consciousness who might not be able to actually understand what they're seeing. They tell them it's something that their brain can comprehend. Now, I almost feel like this solar flare situation could be the opposite, where the military wants us to think that they're blacking things out, but it's actually the sun. Sorry guys, my nose is so itchy. Clayton says, well, okay, Pete said, Elon, good or bad? Clayton said, Elon is likely involved in flare networks with SpaceX. My guess is he's good. That's kind of my take on it now, too. I've gone back and forth on Elon for years now. But at the core of it, going off of like my heart intuition, I've always felt like he does have a solid soul. Like despite whatever control or surface level things, or even just his normal human experience of his awakening path and everything, his soul, you know, even though he's not the best communicator and he can seem, people say he can seem cold and lifeless, like I feel like I get him, like I see him on the soul level, and I feel like I know him. And I get why people maybe don't see that, but I keep being guided to come back to that. Like he has a heart that most, if not, you know, if not all of these big CEO type people, just, they don't have that level of soul. And yeah, he's kind of like Nikola Tesla in a way, I think. And I do think that he is behind parts of Flare Networks and Flare Finance, at least financially and energetically. I'm not saying he's like the one doing the code development, but I do feel like Elon and Peter Thiel and a lot of people in their sphere of influence are the ones involved in these projects. Not to mention that Flare Finance literally on their kickoff event said, "It's time to Musk," and then they tagged Elon Musk in it. And I feel like when I start like channeling information, not like I'm channeling entities or anything, but when I get in a flow of like channeling from my higher self, my face starts tingling and itching. I feel like the blood coming into my face, and it's just funny. Usually we start sweating really hard too when we're like really pulling in stuff from the higher self. You guys ever notice that? Like you're in a mode where you're getting downloads from your higher self or source or whatever it is, and you smell yourself and you're like, why do I smell so different? That's not my normal like sweat smell. Nikola Tesla, inventor or reverse engineer? Yeah, or both. Downloader, right? We're talking about downloads. I think Nikola Tesla was in contact, whether conscious or not, of that type of information. The Law of One talks about how a lot of these like scientists who bring forward this revolutionary info are being fed this basically through mental downloads from different I don't like saying ET, different galactic races and the higher self and different galactic connections and things like that. Like the Manhattan Project, the Law of One said specifically that's where that info came from. But then the dark forces and humans went and subverted it and made it into, of course, a negative weapon. But the nuclear energy as its original thought form seeded here was supposed to liberate the Earth. And same thing with Tesla. They say that Tesla's mission was literally to free the Earth from the darkness in a physical way, but like obviously in a spiritual way too, and to bring in free energy. But they said that he got, his mission was obviously challenged by a lot of beings, and that he got kind of caught up in the pessimism of his matrix reality, and that kind of affected his mission in a way, because he was caught up in, I guess loosely, the pessimism and the intensity that the matrix can have on us. It's like what I'm hearing is if we focus too much on fighting the old, we don't have the energy to build the new. And if we rather put our energy directly into building the new, then we are inherently not feeding the old, and we don't have to put a ton of conscious energy into dismantling the old, because it will just dismantle itself. And I think a lot of people are caught up in the paradigm of trying to dismantle what was rather than build what they want. And that can be a black hole for a lot of people, where they kind of spin out on in that area and end up focusing more on the darkness and feeding the darkness more than they wanted to. And, you know, obviously their intention was to expose the darkness so we can build light, but then people can get their intentions can become perverted, I think. Tesla saw his mom in the clouds as she died, and he wasn't with her, but he knew. Space travel to planets is now possible again, in sync with deepfake tech. Will Mars settlers be the Truman Show? Yep. A big part of what I want to do with my wealth from XRP is to take my aerospace engineering background, which was still so much like a foundation of what I wanted to do in the world, but I got really jaded with the, you know, the rocket technology and the old level tech. And but what I would like to do with a large part of this wealth that is going to be coming in is to create my own aerospace company and to pull together the best types of technology for exploration of the humankind. And I'm talking about like real anti-gravity technology, like the technology that we know is available. And then that's just the beginning. One of my main intentions with that is to then begin exploring these parts of our history that have been lost to us, particularly with lost civilizations both on, in, and off the planet. So I want to like put together expeditions, whether this is a part of Space Force or what. I just this is my intention. However it manifests, you know, in the positive, in the service to all, is fine. But the intention that I'm trying to create is that we explore these old civilizations and these histories that give us clues to who we are and where we came from and what we are as humans. And whatever technologies or information or histories or arts or culture come from that, I think will be really exciting. But, you know, the colonies on Mars, the colonies, of course, on the moon, but those are just going to be the beginning. Thinking like the moons on Jupiter and the moons on Saturn, and even going outside of our solar system, and of course the inner Earth and all the mysteries that the inner Earth holds. I want to create an aerospace company that fuels that. That is the, you know, driving force behind creating that for humanity and bringing answers. And a big part of that too is definitively proving the shape of the Earth for everybody, you know, no matter what shape you think it is. I personally at this moment feel like the Earth is a torus shaped, round-ish, but, you know, torus in nature, like the shape loosely of an apple, or, you know, a torus field. That's the shape that energy seems to take in nature from what I have observed. But regardless of what the shape is, I want to definitively prove the shape of the Earth to everybody. That's so important that we all be on the same page, whatever the truth is. And NASA has done an excellent job of deceiving people by not getting a solid picture of the Earth. Like, to my knowledge, there are no existing pictures of the Earth that are not composites. So to get definitive data that can prove to everybody whether you believe the Earth is flat, round, square, amorphous blob, you know, whatever. Maybe you think we live on the sun. I really don't care. I want to get solid evidence that proves it to people so that we can, as a collective consciousness, at least be on the same page about the shape that we inhabit and the space that we inhabit. It's important. I think I'm ready to live out in the forest off grid, says Dunking Sabatino. Yes, I agree. I think even when we will be coming into lots of wealth, it's going to be of the utmost importance to really understand like sacred reusability and sacred energy consumption. And you know, typically when people get lots of money, in a traditional sense, big business people, that the waste consciousness is not as much present because they have everybody doing everything for them, right? Including people like Trump. Like, I really doubt that Trump composts his own food, right? Maybe he does. but maybe someone composts it for him. Like, we don't know. But I think since so many of us already have this kind of consciousness and understanding that are going to be coming into this immense amounts of wealth with this shift, it's going to be a huge ripple on the consciousness of like personal empowerment of your space and your waste in your space, and reusability and sustainability and all that kind of stuff. So like, yeah, even with the idea of being a millionaire, billionaire, whatever, still living out on an off-grid house in the middle of the forest sounds perfect. And I think that like the off-grid is probably going to be a big part of moving into the free energy type system, right? Because eventually we're just going to have some kind of little device that'll sit on our thing, on our table or whatever, and will generate as much energy as we need. But in transitioning to that point, I think self-sustainability with, you know, power and all that kind of stuff is going to be maybe not an integral part of everybody's journey, but I think a lot of people's. I believe NASA's trying to hide the entry points into the Earth. Yeah, like if you study Admiral Byrd and the Operation High Jump to Antarctica and to the North Pole as well, he talked about entrances and how it basically, the way I remember it being described, was kind of like what a torus field would look like. Like if the Earth was the shape of a torus, and this, you know, this would be a big reason why they wouldn't take a picture of the Earth as is too. If the Earth is the shape of a torus and it has the inward parts of the torus like an apple curves in, those are going to manifest as giant holes in the poles of the Earth, like literally giant holes, giant wells, or like maybe a reverse mountain, it looks like. We really don't know. A lot of people have speculated, but I think I remember Admiral Byrd describing sailing into something the equivalent of that. And they kind of explore this in the new Godzilla vs. Kong movie a little bit, because they go to the inner Earth through an Antarctic base, which if you haven't seen Godzilla v. Kong, even if you're not into monster movies, like, it's not a monster movie. I don't like monster movies, but even if you're not into like action, you know, movies like Godzilla and Kong, the disclosure in it is so awesome. Like, there was stuff in there I didn't even expect. But the main parts of it were Hollow Earth and exploring the Hollow Earth. And they had this whole scene where it was like when they were going in where the gravity reversed. And, you know, as you would enter from the outside to the inside of the Earth, there was a neutral gravity point where you could actually float. And I don't know if that's true, but it is a very interesting concept that they might be trying to seed into people's mind. Yeah, Michael Tellinger's Ubuntu. That was one of the first projects of that kind that I was studying and familiar with. Yeah, I do think that's part of my goal too. Like, probably before the space agency, aerospace company, whatever it manifests as, I really want to solidify like sanctuary and like a maybe a template for building what we could call crystals of light or the cities of light. In a metaphysical sense. And I picture that so many of us are going to be building these sanctuaries, and they're going to be like experiments where we learn from each other, and they become communities where they're going to be like Ubuntu communities, where the cities of light, the ones that are the most in resonance and harmony with the vibrations of the planet, will continue to grow, and they will grow as like nations of their own, but they're going to be nations that live in harmony with the other nations. It's not going to be like you know, warring tribalism. It's going to be a collective consciousnesses of groups that come together, like-mindedness, and they will have trade and technology exchange and culture exchange, and this is how I picture these developing. And they're going to start as these pieces of property that people like you and me are going to be buying with this wealth from the new financial system. And we're going to be buying these large pieces of property all over the world. And we're going to be connecting them. We're going to be connecting the ley lines and the grids of these properties and doing ceremony and energy work. And there's going to be a lot of them. And they're going to be, but not too many, because it's not going to be like just everybody has one. It might start like that, but they're going to condense into the ones that are the most efficient and of service. And they will really be the foundation for new energetic templates for how to live on Earth, is what I'm picturing. Okay, Dubont Creative says, new to crypto here. I want to buy XRP, but unsure which type. What do you recommend? You want to buy XRP? I think there's only one type of XRP. If you want to buy XRP, you can buy XRP on uphold.com. If you're in the United States, Uphold is the place to buy XRP. Yes, Santos Bonacci. I had not heard of him until very recently when some of the other guys from the roundtable started talking about him. Yeah, I'm not super familiar with him, but I've seen a couple of stuff from him now. But he's a flat Earth guy, right? I'm open to it. I'm trying to remain open to that stuff. It's been coming a lot more into the consciousness. I've noticed a lot more people talking about like flat Earth and their opinions on it. And like I said, my conclusion at this point in time, based on my evidence I've seen, is that the Earth is likely a torus shaped. But I want to stay open to the possibility of anything. So I will check out Santos more, because a lot of people have been talking about him. Part of it too, though, just personally, like I remember having memories on other planets, and they were not flat. Like it was not the paradigm of reality that most of the flat Earth paradigms portray, with the layers of dimensions as physical layers and the firmament as they understand it. Like I have memories of being on other planets and flying from planet to planet, and I realize for people that doesn't count as evidence as far as bringing forward evidence, but just on my personal account, I have memories of that. Angelito says, doesn't matter what shape it is, let's get this money. And then with the money, we will prove for all whatever the shape is. So we just need to all be on the same page. I mean, they've fucked with us so much on our understandings of how the world works. You know, for all we know, the world could be trapezoid. You never know. But I don't remember it that way. I haven't heard of what on Earth happened. Wait, someone might have sent me that just today. I think Zach might have sent me that today. Let's see. I will check it out. Oh no, the one he sent me was called "What the Bleep Do We Know?" I'll check out what on Earth happened. Oh, he speaks of the torus shape. Okay, interesting. Okay, I will look into his work more. That's interesting. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. As a reminder for all the new people that are in the live right now, this is my backup page. If you would like to continue following me, there's a chance that this particular page that you're watching on right now will not be around in the near future because of big tech censorship. And so if you'd like to continue following me, the link below in the description will take you to Divine Sovereign Beings YouTube, where I will be posting content in the near future. I'll probably start posting them here and there until we make the transition over there. Unless this channel stays open forever, which, you know, I fully welcome that in too. Let's see what XRP is doing. Flare is still going. XRP is still having a little baby breakout potentially. It's trying. We might see it. It's funny, every time XRP has had a major breakout, I've been banned from going live. So I haven't been able to do like a fun breakout live stream. Wouldn't it be great if it broke out right now? Let's do it, you guys. Breakout dance. Everyone start playing the Pump It Up song. I would play it here, but I think that they would get me for copyright. Can you guys hear the background music that I have playing? I can hear it, but I don't know if you guys can. It's just some nice, calming meditation music. Dunking Sabatino says the ones that are doing the healing work and own the land that is separated from the cities are going to be the healing centers for the people that finally wake up. We will have healing sanctuaries. Yes, exactly, exactly. Cool, relaxing. That's good. That's the goal. So many live streams are all about, you know, pumping up, and I like that too. I like to pump up the energy and get everyone excited, but at the same time I feel like it's nice to kind of approach this information from a more laid back point of view, especially as a Gemini. I have the, I don't know, maybe predisposition to get like really amped about things, especially like, I don't know, when talking and doing lives and stuff. So it's good for me to like get into a relaxed meditative state where we can talk about this stuff in like a relaxed way where it doesn't have to be super amped up. But the amping up is fun too. Nothing wrong with getting amped up. There's just a lot of pages already for amping up that are like my go-to, like Bearable Bull, he's a good amp up one. Even Alex Cobb for crypto stuff gets you amped. Here's Femex again. If you weren't here earlier, Femex has relisted XRP and it has leverage trading available, but not recommending leverage trading. I've lost a lot of money that way, but if you do it right, there's good potential. I feel like it's so close. Like we could break out right now if it keeps going up. If we break through this resistance level at around 160 and then 162-ish. I mean, right now we're pretty much at the high. Well, okay. I guess this has all been in the past day. So it got up to $1.62 early this morning. Later, Smokey. Aggressively average content. Yes, that's the Bearable Bull. And I got this aggressively average content for you today. I love his intros and outros. I love that he's always changing it up and with the songs and everything. Clayton wants us to know he's not endorsing the What on Earth Happened video. Good to know. I will watch it with a grain of salt. Will the price break out before or after major exchanges relist XRP? That's a good question. I kind of feel like before is what I'm feeling. I feel like the anticipation for any kind of pump usually makes it pump before it's supposed to. Like when we had that event a couple months ago, that social media event where people were talking about, doing the pump. It was at like 6 a.m. or something, and everyone was going to buy in. This was right after the GameStop one happened. And it ended up having a big pump like a couple hours before, and then by the time the event was supposed to happen, it dumped. So for that kind of thing, there's always an anticipatory energy that precedes it. I feel like it could be the same, where it's the energy is already going to be pushing it to new highs before, and that's what's gonna, I think that the energy behind it is what's going to actually encourage the other exchanges to fully relist, or it's going to be so divinely timed. But I'm getting the feeling it's going to be after it really starts to pump. And maybe they won't even relist it. We're talking about like DSCABAL exchanges, like Coinbase potentially. And maybe it's in their best interest not to relist it. Mr. Pool's been awfully quiet as of late. Yeah, those last couple posts were interesting. Have you heard about other countries that want to make their own crypto? Would you invest? Well, a lot of countries are working on their, what are called their central banking digital currencies, CBDCs, like China, and I'm pretty sure Russia's working on one. And we might have an official CBDC in the near future. Personally, it's not something I would invest in because, I don't know, it just doesn't, CBDCs don't seem like a good investment opportunity. But that's just me. I don't even know if you could invest in them. But that's where, like, these ISO 20022 coins on the Interledger protocol. Just let me see if I can bring that up and show you guys. These are the coins as far as like financial investment opportunities. Let's see if I can find it. And there's like one picture, but I'm not seeing it here. Well, anyway, the ISO 20022 protocol, the Interledger family, is a group of cryptocurrencies which are basically set up with the international financial institutions to create what is basically the new financial system. And the main coins on there are XRP, XLM, Algorand, IOTA, XDC. I can't find the picture just by searching it. I know I have it somewhere like on my phone, but yeah, those are like the financial coins that I personally would invest in. Brad says, what do you think about Ripple IPO after the case? I don't know. I guess we'll see. I heard a rumor that if they do make, if the SEC does declare it a security, XRP a security, that they potentially then would maybe be forced, or I don't know how it would work, but the rumor is that they would give XRP holders stock in Ripple as compensation. I don't know if that's going to happen. It's just a potential. Yeah. Freakiest Mandela effect for me was seeing the David sculpture with eye detail and heart-shaped pupils. I always remember them blank. Zombie. Huh, I haven't seen that. I feel like all the cryptos are going to pump here very shortly. Bitcoin is not done, says Earthworth. I agree. Yeah, it feels like they're all getting ready. Hi, did you see Jeremy Hogan's Legal Brief's latest YouTube video? Seems like he thinks may allow the SEC's demand for firms in other countries to have to provide info on Ripple. I didn't see that. I'll go look that up. I'm not familiar with him. And thank you. Thank you for your comment, David, about the shows and the roundtable. Manda in Cali says, joined late and started from beginning. What was the name of the large bird? Where are they located? It's called a shoebill. I don't know where they're located. That's a great question. Not in this time zone, but now they are. Look at that. It's eating a duck. Or doing something to the duck. I don't know what's going on. They're so big though. Like from these pictures you can't really tell, but they're like bigger than people. And if you watch a video of them, they make these noises like they're straight up dinosaurs. Anyway. Fun stuff. What is the Telegram link? Shoot, did I not put it in the description? I thought I was forgetting something. Let me grab it real quick. I'll throw it in the chat. I'll put the group link in there, and then the private page or the public page is also connected to that. There we go. There should be in the chat now. And I'll post the other one too. And then, there we go. All right, there's the telegrams. And then, here we go. I forgot to show you guys the website. So, divinesovereignbeings.com. I'll put this in the chat right now too. This is, hold on one sec. All right, there we go. So this is our website. This is where we will have the info coming up about the event. But for right now, we have our t-shirt collection on here, which Alexis recently redid this and made a good layout for some of our more popular t-shirt designs. This is the most popular one for sure. Frosho. We are the ones we've been waiting for. People have been loving that one. And this is the exact one that we've got too, the maroon. There's also the Divine Sovereign Beings, a couple different logos. There's the I Made It My Business and It Was Good samurai shirt. Schumann Resonance shirts. I Made It My Business female divine feminine version. Be the true you. Be your true you. Full disclosure. Divine law and order. Yeah, we got a couple different stuff. So if you're interested, it's not just shirts. There's all sorts of other types of apparel you can get the designs in. And then we have some custom t-shirts that we made a little bit back that we've still got. And we have our Sedona Lightning Stone. I haven't talked about this too much as of recent on this channel, but we have come into possession of this beautifully rare, what is called fulgurite. And you can ignore this price. This is that's, I don't even know why that's there. I gotta go fix that. But they are lightning stone that was literally made when the lightning struck the physical earth. So the fulgurites you can find from all over the world. Typically they come from desert areas like the Sahara Desert. You can find them most commonly, but they don't look like this. These are rare, uniquely rare, because they're made from the red rock in the Sedona area here. So literally picture the cosmic energy of the lightning, the ionosphere, the potential energy between the cosmos and the earth creating the lightning, and then the physical contact and the heat from that lightning instantly fusing in the ground this crystal, which if you actually put it up to your ear and like kind of like brush your finger next to it, it sounds shiny. It sounds like glass like. It's not normal. It's not like if you pick up a stone from here and were to feel it and listen to it. It's a different type of material, potentially monoatomic. In fact, if you break them open and you look at the insides, they're purely white on the inside because they've been, you know, it's hotter than the surface temperature of the sun that they're instantly fused at. So these are super good for grounding cosmic energy. Let's see. Here's a couple little pieces. You can hold them in the palm of your hand, or like these ones are, you know, you can get creative with them and make jewelry and stuff out of them. Or if you get a bigger one, they sit in your hand better. They're really good for grounding that cosmic energy into and through all the chakras, and then into your root chakra, and then into the Earth Star chakra, which is like beneath you in the ground. And they're amazing. I don't know how to like properly describe them, but they're so powerful. It's like literally the power of lightning and the power of the Sedona red rocks and the hematite, the magnetic energy that's in there, from space to the ground, and then this like holy completion of the energies. And it's like, we've had so many people buy them and then just like be amazed at the frequency that they give off. We even had someone who was struck by lightning and suffered with like various issues because of that, buy a piece and hold it and feel like it realigned their energetic like pathways because of the energy that it held and the trauma that they had been through. It like rewrited their system, which I was just like, wow, that is I knew they were healing, but that's amazing. So yeah, that's there. We have all sorts of different shapes and sizes. I got to redo the whole website, so expect that coming soon. It's you know, if you run into any issues as far as checking out or looking at pieces, or if you have any questions, send me an email. And yeah, that's our website. So I'm going to go back to the beach here. You may notice we used to be in the Arctic, or maybe it was the Antarctic. I don't really know. And now we're on a Caribbean beach. I think. Pretty sure it's the Caribbean. But these are the vibes that, you know, I'm manifesting. Working on those tropical island vibes. Hey, Aaron, good to see you, man. Alexis points out there are female shirts in some designs, but I have all designs for sure on the eco-friendly fabric collection. So there is organic, 100% organic cotton, and other forms of eco-friendly materials. But there's long sleeve tees in 100% organic cotton, and I believe there's short sleeve tees in organic cotton as well, and then a hoodie in organic cotton. There's a whole eco collection. Do you sport New Balance shoes? What is Z? I've never actually owned a pair of New Balances, but you know, I might. All right. Well, any Q&A type questions before anything else? Jump back over to the price chart here. Kind of just in flow mode now. So I hit all the main things I wanted to talk about, I think. So if you guys have any general questions about crypto or life or anything? In your past life memory, were you flesh and bone? I've had both. I've had memories of both. I guess I say without getting too specific. Flesh and bone is kind of hard to figure out, I guess, sometimes. Because when you're in the awareness of the body that you're in, you're not always thinking what's inside of you. But I have had more physical type memories, and I've had more etheric type memories. And in both cases, I had a bodily complex, and sometimes they looked different than what we look like now. But yeah, that's a good question. Alexis says Jasper is getting better. That's our puppy. I know you guys probably didn't hear about it here unless you follow Alexis, but our 1-year-old puppy was having a lot of health issues over the past couple weeks. It's potential that these big solar flares we've been experiencing were messing with him, and he was having a lot of stomach and digestive issues over the past week. But we've really been working with him in holistic ways, and we're guided to. We had him on antibiotics, and they were literally poisoning him. They were. I looked up this antibiotic called metronidazole. If you ever get this prescribed to you or your animals, be aware that metronidazole has the capability to pass through the bone, and it destroys the DNA, and that's how it works. It goes after and this is my understanding. It goes after the DNA of the antibiotic, but in certain cases can cause neurotoxicity. And so this is one of the things he was experiencing. Was we were giving him this antibiotic, and it was just making him like really cognitively checked out, and fever and drooling and stumbling and like really bad neurological response issues. And so we took him off all the prescription meds. We'd spent like several $100s at the vet, and but we decided just to stop it all. And we've been working just on our physical healing capabilities and calling in the help of healing from people in the community. So if that was you, if you helped, contribute healing energy to Jasper, thank you so much. And he is showing a lot of improvement. He's still on the healing path, but he is much more energized and eating and showing signs of improvement. So thank you for everyone who contributed their healing energy. Aaron says, when is XRP gonna moon? Hopefully right now. Come on, let's see it happen. That would be great. I would love to be on a live when that happens. Do you remember any details of planets you have incarnated on, where they were names? I've never really talked about these kind of things publicly before. I haven't. No, I would say names in terms of names that maybe we've given from this reality and what we'd call them in this reality, but I haven't had any, I'd say, like organic language names come to me, if that's what you mean. Mainly for me, what I've been getting is images lately. I've been getting images of memories, both in dream time and in waking time, which the waking time is really interesting because I only started experiencing that recently, where I was just in the middle of the day or whatever, getting all of a sudden this memory that came to me that I'm like, whoa. And at first I'm like, what is this? And I've learned to realize what that feels like, the memory versus like, I don't know, saying it like another thing, like it being your imagination or something you're making up. And it's like with these memories, they do feel like I dreamt about them, but I'll get them in the middle of the day, but it's like that clear. And so I've had visual memories of being on Earth and things that were probably not Earth, and but not so much specifics of like names. I do know names like internally, like I know where I've been as far as like what we could call them. Like, I mean, I'll just say like I've been to the Pleiades, I've been to Orion, I've been to Lyra, I've been to a lot of these types of places. But yeah, I don't know. That's about, I guess, as much as I'll say. Manda says, I'm going to check out the store after your show. Thanks. Felt faint vertigo and magnetic pull a couple of hours ago. Schumann resonance. Crypto kept buying. Bitcoin. Wait for the dips. Yeah, speaking of Schumann resonance, thank you for reminding me. I wanted to bring up this. So if you guys don't know, my wife, Alexis, her, big part of her mission is talking about space weather and Schumann resonance and bringing it forward to the collective in a way that merges both the science and spiritual aspects of it. And so you can check out her blog right here at Ascension Diaries, and I will post it. I'll post it right here in the chat for everybody. So this is today's update from May 1st. She was pointing out that for the 0 to 40 hertz frequency, we saw an amplitude in this frequency line go up to a 77 in amplitude. So just real quick, one of the things that a lot of people get wrong when interpreting the Schumann resonance that Alexis has been good about kind of clarifying for the public is that we often hear these kind of extravagant claims like, oh, the Schumann resonance is raising in frequency. It's supposed to be 7 hertz, and today it was 100 hertz. And oh my God, the whole planet, that we've 20 times in the hertz frequency or whatever. Or they'll say oh, years ago it was 7 and now we're up in the 10, 20, 30s. And that's just not true. It's an incorrect way of looking at it's just not true. Okay. So there are a set of fundamental frequencies, about 4, that are the fundamental base frequencies, the strongest frequencies in the bunch for the Schumann resonance. And one of those is the 7.8-ish frequency. And so the amplitude of these core frequencies are really what are changing and what are shifting. And when you see these big white lines, that's because the amplitude, meaning the strength behind the frequency, if you're looking at the wavelength, the amplitude is how high it goes. And the frequency is the cycle length itself. The amplitude is how high and how potent the wave hits. So when we say the amplitude went to 77, sometimes people will mistakenly say the hertz went to 77, or we hit a 77 hertz or something like that. And that's the misinformation. So if you want more data and information about that kind of stuff, Alexis and her website Ascension Diaries is a really good resource for that. She also combines and explains the difference between, say, the Russian graph and the Italian graph, and the different geological locations and their different Schumann resonance receivers, because it's not just one for the whole planet. These are in different locations and are picking up on different frequency spectrums, frequency amplitudes, and things like that. So yeah, definitely recommend checking that out. In the description below, she also talks about the K index and all sorts of other space weather stuff on her Instagram as well, at Ascension Diaries. And then I talked about this earlier, but if you want to know more about the May 24th to the 30th Vortex meetup, that's also on here, which is separate from the conference that we'll be doing in late July. Different events, different kind of intentions behind them. So, and again, our website, Divine Sovereign Beings, if you want to check that out. If anyone is feeling the super call to do a super early bird special on the conference today for this July 23rd to the 25th, roughly, is when we're saying it is. If anyone is feeling like you 100% want to come, and, even without all the official details out, you want to get super early bird price, I'm just feeling randomly guided to just make that open. So we'll say 111 early bird price for 3 days. That price isn't going to be available again for anything. So if you are just feeling that call, like you just want to pull the trigger now and you feel like, you can make it happen, you can send me a donation for 111 or more at the crypto wallet down below. And in my description, there are 3 crypto wallets available. There's one for XRP, XRP, Bitcoin, and Ethereum, I believe. I prefer XRP, but if you have got the other 2 and prefer that, that's all good. And then send me an email with the screenshot of your donation transaction so that I know it's you, and then we'll get you on the guest list. And again, that's going to be super early bird price. That's not going to be anywhere near the actual price. That's like a really great deal that I'm just feeling guided to just throw out there now if anyone happens to want it. So that's a 111 donation for the 3-day conference in Sedona, Arizona. It's going to be, the first day is going to be red pill disclosure related information. We're going to have artists that night doing conscious rap and hip hop. Saturday is going to be about the cosmic and galactic information, multiple speakers on each day. And then Saturday night will be the cosmic dance party where me and Ryan and maybe some other people will be DJing. And then Sunday is going to be the health and science and kind of general wellness, more situated in the body awareness. So we're going to have kind of the mind, the mental, the information, disclosure, kind of tangible stuff Friday, the galactic cosmic downloads and transmission Saturday, and then Sunday we're going to ground it all into the body and end on that note. And then that's just the beginning for the template. There's going to be other stuff added. Yes, thank you, Alexis. Be a little bit thank you for Alexis for posting in the comments. Be a little bit careful with the spaces. I'm just noticing on where it says like Ethereum is kind of tied onto the end of the Bitcoin tag. So just be careful with that. Make sure I would get it directly from the links below and make sure that you get the address completely right. And if you don't do crypto at all and you want to take advantage of this super early bird special, you can PayPal. That's fine too. That's cool for now. And this is really just for the stream and putting that out there. So when we actually go live with the speakers after they're confirmed and the venue is 100% confirmed and we get that stuff, then I will put the official prices out there. And again, they won't be that cheap, but we will have a normal ticket option with like normal way to pay, and then the crypto ticket option, which is going to be significantly cheaper. Still not that cheap, but significantly cheaper to pay with crypto. And again, it's a 3-day experience. So for 111 for 3 days, that's a pretty good steal, but I'm just feeling guided to put that out there, especially since, the details aren't solidified yet. If you have any questions about that, you can send us an email. Alexis just put the link in the chat. Any questions, anybody? About anything random? What time is it? 2? We've been going about 2 hours. All right, I think I'm going to wrap it up here unless XRP is about to break out. Come on, baby. It honestly, it could right now. It's if it breaks past this little bit, we could be going back to, oh, it's so close. I just want to see it happen on the stream. Oh, Clayton has a good question. He said, how does one start to explore that spiritual side? Things like memories, dreams, and downloads. So I would say calming the mind and meditation and focusing on understanding the self is really the biggest thing. That was, for me, that was the biggest thing. You can go to a practitioner for something like a regression, which can be really helpful for people. And I would definitely recommend that if you're feeling called to that, as far as like past life regressions and, talking to the higher self, or QHHT, which is quantum hypnosis healing therapy. Things of that sort are a good way to tap into that if you find that you're struggling. Personally, I found on my journey that by not doing that as much, like, even though I have so many amazingly talented friends who like have so many different skill sets for that kind of thing, and I can recommend so many people for that. But personally, I felt guided to do the discovering mainly on my own, and I probably could have started finding answers more about myself earlier on if I had done that, but I also didn't want to be, I wanted it to come from me. I've had people reach out to me and give me readings and tell me things about like my galactic lineages and things like that, past lives and things, but it felt way more valid when I started to experience it myself. And that really came from knowing myself. Like, and by knowing myself, I mean like really getting in touch with the mind, body, spirit trinity, understanding the chakra system and the energy system in the body, and really working with each one individually to heal them. Knowing when you're in a state of healing through trigger and catalyst, whether that comes out as an argument with someone you love, or you're frustrated, or you're elated and you're super happy and you're in bliss. Whatever the thing is, a good exercise that I do sometimes is I will, especially if I'm experiencing negative emotion, I will do a polarity mental exercise where I take the situation, whatever it is, and I find within me the opposite emotional reaction to whatever I'm experiencing. So this is for if you're experiencing heightened emotional reactivity on both sides of the emotional spectrum, whether you call it good or bad. If you're finding that you are reacting to things in a way that is maybe outside of your control, and the reactivity is guiding you more than you are guiding you, that's when this exercise can be especially helpful. But it's really good for everybody and anybody. And so an example would be like you're in a situation where you find yourself feeling extremely impatient, like maybe you're in traffic or something, and you're just like, oh, I hate traffic and I hate people and just And so in that situation, find within yourself the equal and opposite emotional reaction of impatience. So complete patience, right? Complete patience. Like, I'm here because this is exactly where I'm supposed to be right now, and I'm as patient as I need to be. And perhaps the reason why I am here stuck in traffic is because I would have gotten into a really bad accident if this hadn't had happened, or something of the sort. Something. I'm on the better timeline right now is a good way to phrase it to yourself. Timeline sometimes. But in any situation, whether it's impatience and patience, or anger versus gratitude, finding the equal and opposite is really a good way to begin that process of self-mastery and self-understanding and knowing the self. And and then having the intentions to start exploring these things, which often means making yourself emotionally and mentally vulnerable to whatever the truth may be. And allowing that to speak to you, allowing your higher self to speak to you without judgment of your own thoughts, without judgment of, are these things true? Is this even real? Like, whatever, just allowing it to come in. And I mean in the context of like approaching your higher self or God or whatever spiritual omnipresent energy that you work with. And excuse me, making it clear that you're seeking to know who you are and what you are and why you are here, and asking those basic questions in a way where you are actually putting the call out there to the universe. Because that's a really important thing too, is a lot of these beings, interdimensional, intergalactic beings, that are here to assist and help us, they physically can't do so, literally can't do so unless we call for their assistance. And so sometimes we can want it, but we're not actually making the call in a balanced way that's inviting in the help, if you know what I mean. A lot of us have blockages to assistance in the first place, which can stem from our families and our loved ones, and feeling like we need to do everything ourselves and that we can't receive help from others. That was a big part of my journey too, is releasing that and allowing in to the most of my ability for others to help in the places where I maybe had too much pride for people to help. Whether for you that's finances or health or love or friendship or your passion, your work, whatever it is. Yeah. Yeah, the Law of One, Earthworth says, that's my favorite esoteric channeled metaphysical material for kind of understanding the mechanics of a lot of this kinds of stuff. And it's where a lot of my understanding gets its foundation in, was from the information in those channelings. Yeah, the Law of One, or I'll even type it in. There's lawofone.info is a free website with all the books on there for free, so you don't have to buy them. And it talks about a lot of this kind of stuff in a more generic but mechanical sense that especially divine masculines, I've noticed, can appreciate and understand. So, oops, messed up there. Yeah, so making that intention known when doing that process of self-discovery. And then, yeah, like I was saying, not judging yourself, I think, is really important. Really allowing yourself to experience whatever comes in. And when I first started having these kind of waking memory regressions that weren't in dream time, you know, there's a little more room for the mind to try to question and attack and doubt, you know, FUD, fear, uncertainty, doubt. The mind and the beings out there which use the mind against you will try to make you doubt yourself along this process of self-discovery. And that is one of the biggest initiations, I think, within itself, is trusting the self and not allowing the mind to doubt the intuition. And also finding the space where the mind and the soul and the body can work together and they're not fighting each other. Because even though the mind can work against us, we can reprogram the mind to work in our favor and to assist the spirit and the body. And what I found is that I had to, a large part of my awakening journey over the past few years, especially when I was doing heavy plant medicine psychedelics, I would often have to not completely, but for lack of better words, like shut off my traditional left brain rational understanding of things. And not shut off, like it's always working, of course, but really giving space for my right brain creative intuitive side to come into its full blossom and not let the left mental mathematical logical brain run the show like it was. And that takes a lot of courage, and I'm sure you guys know it takes a lot of courage and bravery to do that and to trust the self. Most people don't trust themselves. They'd rather trust the system. They'd rather trust the government. They'd rather trust their favorite scientist or their favorite TV personality or their favorite YouTuber or whatever. They don't trust themselves. And that is so key for the process of self-discovery and healing, is knowing that all the answers are going to come from within you, and the magic is going to come from within you. The stuff that you don't even expect to come out of you is going to come on that process. Dubont says, so glad to hear you speak of changing up emotional responses. I've been practicing that for some time. It's really effective. Yeah, I feel like one of the largest parts of why we are here is to get away from the state of letting our emotions rule us. And that doesn't mean getting rid of emotions. And this has been an interesting thing in the crypto space as well, studying how this applies metaphysically to people and their mental state. And a lot of the crypto like YouTubers and content creators and voices in the crypto community and financial advisors as well is about controlling the emotions. But this is where the semantics differ between people and where some people phrase it differently than others. Some people will say you need to control your emotions and just go with logic. Some people will say, you know, you need to turn off your emotions and just go with logic. And I don't think that is the answer, but I think it's in its more pure form. Like, one of the things that crypto teaches people is to not allow emotional reactivity to rule you. So this is where I learned a lot in the beginning too, when I was doing the leverage trades over here on Femex. I was thinking that my intuition was leading me, and I was doing all these big trades with huge risk because I was like, oh yeah, I was just doing it in the moment. Like don't think about it, just do it in the moment, which at the time I thought that was the guidance that I was getting. And what I realized later is that it was my emotional reactivity that was leading that charge. And that if I had more adequately balanced the logic with the emotion, that's where I learned how to do that, really. And it wasn't about shutting off the emotion, but it was about not allowing the emotion to rule you, right? Because there is advantage to emotion in this example of the crypto space and investing. There is an advantage to the emotional intelligence of the intuition of emotion. And for instance, like me knowing back here at $1.39 that it was, you know, getting the feeling that it was about to pop off, and then putting in a 12 times trade right there at a dollar, you know, it was like $1.36 or something, and then it pops off. Well, in that trade, I used both my emotional intuition, which was telling me now is the time, or this is a right thing. But then I also used my logic and my discernment, and I used my chart analysis, knowledge. And I combined the two, and I didn't allow my emotions to choose my decision, which in the past might have been, you know, it could either be fear or excitement, you know. And I'm using crypto as an example of this, but this applies to so many different things. But you could allow emotion in this space in a positive way to negatively affect you, or a negative way, or, you know, positively affect you in both ways. I don't want to make it just a negative thing. But most often when you're chasing the emotion, which is usually fear of missing out, FOMO, you know, people call it chasing the green candles because of FOMO. Here's a good example. So I just said, I had the intuition and everything to make the trade around here. But someone who is maybe right here, well, maybe this isn't the best example, but I guess someone could have FOMO'd into this at any time and probably still made a profit, right? But maybe someone FOMO'd in right here, right? Hopefully you guys can see my cursor. I don't know if you can. You guys, can you see where I'm pointing on the screen? Someone could have FOMO'd in right here at $1.56, 55, right? And they're like, whoa, it just went up, and then it's going up more. But rather than having a proper application of their discernment and their intuitional intelligence, they're just it's more of a fear of missing out and wanting to ride that, and oh, I can still catch it, you know, oh, maybe it's not too late. And then, you know, say someone bought there, and then, oh, it went up a little more, but then it started going down, and they're like, oh, well, now my emotional reaction is I see negative, so now I'm losing, so now I'm going to sell in the negative, and oh, maybe it's still going down, so now I'm going to short it. And then they just keep chasing what they think is going to happen based off of their emotional reactivity. And whereas, you know, if they had held that patience in contrast to their impatience, even if they had bought in here and it went down and they were in negative here, if they had kept holding, they would have been in profit again, right? So there's always the energetic opportunity to make the right decision, whether it's crypto or anything in the world. Like the opportunity will be there if you are prepared for it, I guess is what I'm kind of getting at in a way. So yeah, emotional reactivity. Like we're starting to pump it up. We're pumping it up. Got to pump it up. Oh, don't you know, pump it up. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Come on. Let's do it. Pump it up. Now we need some hype music. Okay. How do I find the hype music? I have to find something royalty free. Let's do it. Getting ready for the pump, guys. It's time for another sip of caffeine. This is where I just need to go into like a DJ live stream. Just keep going and plug in my mixer, and then the copyright is the only thing. Here we go. Copyright free dance mix. I have no idea if this is going to be good or not. If the music's crap, just let me know. We'll change it. I just put a random thing on. We're pumping, you guys. Just had to wait long enough. Finally in profit on my trade again. I was at like negative 90 there, but now I'm in the green again. Little correction. Ooh, we're really coming out of it, you guys. We might actually break out of this sideways trend. Here's the 5-minute chart. Turn it up, she says. Is that too loud? $1.61. Don't forget, if you haven't already, to go subscribe to the Divine Sovereign Beings channel in the description below. It's my backup channel. And we're pumping. It's only, it only took 2 hours, you guys. 2.5 hours. Time to burn some more sage. Sweetgrass. Sweetgrass. It's going. We're pumping. Please share this in a group or on a page if you have the ability to. Do you guys think I should start the stream over with a different name, like XRP Pump, or should we just keep going? What's your vote? 1 is just keep going here. 2, if I should start it over with a new name that's like XRP Pump. All right, Angelito says keep it going. I need a kombucha. It's getting hot in here. Yep. Again, if you want to do leverage trades, Femex has relisted XRP, so you can do leverage trades. Please do this with caution if you are going to do it. Lots of caution with the leverage trades. For some people, maybe it's a good opportunity. All right, everyone says just keep it going, so we're just going to keep it going. Oh, we're still going. We're going to get to 63. It just took 2.5 hours, guys. For those of you that stuck it out, we did it. Now I feel like one of the pump up YouTubers. Now I see why Alex Cobb has such a great time doing this. Share the video, you guys, if you can. Much appreciated. Hit like, subscribe if you're not already on here. And go subscribe to my backup channel if you haven't already. Link in the description. If you'd like to donate to the channel, PayPal and crypto links are down below. If you're interested in getting a super early bird ticket to our conference in July, 3-day conference, if you want to get a super early bird ticket for 111, send me an email and we'll get that set up. This conference is going to be awesome, you guys. I'm so stoked. It's been aligning so well. Like, we already got like 80% of the speakers completely dialed in, and they're all like friends of ours because we know so many people. It's great. Ride it, says Clayton. If you guys don't know where Ride It comes from, I'll have to have Graf on here sometime soon. Our friend Graf, he was on mushrooms the other day having a shamanic experience, and then the frog started talking to him, and instead of ribbit, he heard Ride It. So now we're all saying Ride It. I've been hearing the frogs at night too. Oh, somebody in my Telegram group put that ISO 20022 ecosystem picture I was looking for. Someone put it. Oh, that was a bad transition. Oh, come on. I guess that's what you get for free. If you guys want to look at it, it's a free. I'm a DJ, so I just got to start doing this. I just got to get my XRP pump mix and setup going. And for copyright, I might not be able to do it on YouTube, but maybe if we move over to DLive or something. Next week, I'll get some new stuff set up. If we did a dance party once a week, would you guys want the dance party to be right after the stream, like this? Or on a different day of the week? Or like Saturday nights, or... Sunday evenings. Okay, so since we do the round table at like 6 or 7, before the round table, like pre-round table dance party pump up. I'm gonna post this in Zen God's chat. Right, I just posted it in Zen's group. Thank you, Zen, for giving me admin permissions to post on your page. Get a few more people in here. Looks like we're about to do round 2. Oh. My ears hurt. I have so many lights on my face, so I've been wearing these blue light glasses. But with the beanie and the headphones, everything is like, it's a lot of energy. My ears hurt. Thank you, Joyful Diamonds. That's really nice of you. Glad you're here. Angelito. Yeah, Friday night could be cool. Or Saturday nights. We'll see. Let's see what flows. There we go. There's another song. Who's ready for the next song? I don't know what it is. But hopefully it's good. Alexa says, well, this window works. I'm nervous if I do like a DJ mix on here though, that they would take down the stream for copyright. You can do it. Pump. Yes. Pump it. Pump it. Does anybody have any questions about Flare, or I feel like people still have questions about Flare. Oh, look at that. We're on the 1 minute chart right now, just so you guys know. Let's look at the bigger charts. Look at 15-minute. Let's try, there we go. Okay, that's the 30-minute chart. It's looking pretty good. I mean, if we get past this point right here, it'll be a breakout. So this is the final resistance test. We're so close. It's doing really well. I mean, it had a, looks like a nice healthy little correction, little retracement on the 30-minute chart, and might even go down another candle or two, but it's already trying to push back up. I think we have a good chance of just blowing out of this right now. Look, it's already... All right, let's look at the hour. The hour's looking real good. It's turning parabolic. The next hour will be very telling. I guess we got to stay alive. Might have to go get some weed. All right, let's look at the 2-hour chart. Even better. 2 hour looks like we're clearing it for good. Ooh, we're doing it, you guys. It's happening. Hey. I think I'm good. Thank you for the cheerleader. That's our cheerleader, everyone. Willow's gonna serenade you all with our dance party. Wow. Oh, wow, we're doing it. BitTrue is my go-to for XRP price checking. Mainly just because of the... I don't know, I just really like the charts and I like the vibe. It's got a good vibe. Not that it offers anything inherently more than other stuff, but look at that. Look at the size of that candle. Oh my god. This is exciting. This is the first pump up live I've done. It's fun to do it with a group of people. Normally I'm just like screaming at Alexis like, oh my god. Baby, it's going. We're gonna be rich. So I want to start getting more guests on here. I have to figure out a solid way to flow into like this, into having a guest on here. I think I can. It's just with my broadcasting software, I need to kind of figure it out first. But I want to start like having people be able to just like call in and have them on. Let's see if Zach wants to come on. We'll test out the group. All right, sounds like Zach's down. Let's get him on. All right, let's test this. Hang me with me for a sec, guys. I gotta figure out my camera setup. It won't let me use my normal camera. I'm sending Zach a Zoom invite right now. "44 people. I like that number. Here we go, Zach. Still trying to figure out how I'm gonna do this exactly. You might see some behind the scenes stuff with the stream for a moment. I'm gonna turn on the music for a sec, cause. All right, what's up, Zach? I have you on, but I don't have you on the live just yet, so give me just a second. Can you hear me though?
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I can, but you're coming out of the wrong audio. Why is it doing that? Oh man.
Testing.
Yeah, you're coming out of my my TV instead of my like headphones. Hold on, let me mess around with the settings for just a sec. Audio. No, it's me. It's me. There we go. Okay, I got you. Okay. Now
It doesn't show. Is it? Am I up on the screen? Because it doesn't show any video for you.
No. I now I have to go into my OBS and I gotta do the window capture. It's because when we did our interview before, I had it as like a separate scene, but I can't change it right now, so I just got to do it real quick. But hopefully, it's all gonna go smooth. They say they can hear you. Wait, can you speak again?
Can they see me or can they just hear me?
They wouldn't be able to see you yet. Can you guys hear Zen? Okay, is he coming in clear, or is that just because I had it coming out of my TV? Oh, now he's gone.
Oh, I'm just shouting it out.
Oh, there we go. Okay. So.
And I'm outside too, so if you hear some wind, let me know. I can move.
Okay, cool. So let me just get a window capture of you. 1 second. Well, how's your day going?
Good, just hanging out, enjoying. I'm in Utah right now.
Nice. Nice. Oh my goodness, technology can be.
Let me get some shoes on, actually.
Yeah, do your thing. Gonna be another minute. We're gonna get this working, guys. That's great that you can hear him. I thought I was gonna have to do another audio thing, but that's all good. So now I just need a window capture. And
The OBS is a lot harder than they make it.
yeah,
You could go live straight from what is it called? Zoom.
Zoom. Yeah, I could, but I'd have to end this and then start it over.
Right.
But I could. All right. Well, yeah, they can hear you. So if there's anything you wanna say.
Let me walk down. I'm at this like cool tiny home slash, I don't know what you call it, but it's awesome. So the clouds are just moving away, so I'm gonna be looking at the stars all night. So
Nice.
super excited for that. And now that XRP is pumping, my weekend's even better. So and what else can I ask for? And,
Yeah.
I just been doing a lot of deep digging actually in your state, Arizona, and there's some crazy new information that we haven't talked about. I don't know if you watched my new video.
Yes, I did.
Arizona is definitely a key role in this whole Phoenix and everything that's happening. So, yeah, just been getting so many new dots connecting. And it's not like I'm trying. I'm just literally sitting in my office at work, just hanging out. I'm like, oh, Grand Canyon. Let me Google something real quick. And then all these dots just start connecting. So it's like effortless at this point. It's weird.
Yeah, man. So, okay, tell people a little bit about what you were seeing with that whole Phoenix and 17 and Grand Canyon, all that stuff.
Okay, so basically, to sum it up, I have a recent video on it. Let me know if it's too windy because I just moved spots.
You're good.
But, okay, so in 1912, these researchers uncovered a vast amount of wealth of gold in the Grand Canyon. So much gold that it actually equaled more gold that was ever accumulated at that time being. So let's say, hypothetically, there was 1 billion ounces of gold on Earth mined. There was more gold in this mountain alone than all the world's gold. So it was like this huge finding. It was supposed to shock the world. And there's actually a New York Times, like people always say, where's the source? Well, I'll tell you the source. We all agree that New York Times is a credible news source, and they have an article that's still public talking about this finding. Immediately after that, 1912 is when Arizona became a state. If you look at the sign of Arizona, it's like a sun shining with golden rays. And Highway 17, the Phoenix, this is where the recount's happening right now. There's so much shit happening in Arizona. And then also the Grand Canyon, very symbolic for like Egyptian stuff, right? So everybody knows there's been like Egyptian relics found, there's been Egyptian stuff found there. They actually have stuff, whole valleys named after Egyptian gods. And what I started to think of, okay, so remember that ritual that just happened with the 22 mummies?